Well. Hey, friends. Hey there. Welcome to Clobberin Times. This is you number 187 on YouTube, 887 overall. Just for a little basic open geek talk here on Clobberin Times, August Jack Kirby month. And it is good to see that, again, I'm very disorganized tonight. And the worst part is I don't have a good reason to be. I was over there helping my good buddy Paulie at the Latino Slanter. He has a his big show on tonight, and doing some wrenching there for him. And got caught up in it and forgot to even put out the word on the show. So that's all right. I see friends here, and that's all that matters. Hello there, friends. Phantom Outsider Buddy. Good to see you. Always a pleasure, brother. Stuart Mitchell. Hey there. Welcome. J-Man. Hi, buddy. Oh, well, if you're not asleep yet, bro, good to see you there, buddy. It's always a pleasure. D-Bud. What's up, D-Bud Martin? Hey, man. Zax. Good to see you. The lovely Janet from another planet. Hey. Nerot, Anaxamanda Bear. Always a pleasure to have you here. So, Steve, thing jumped on me. Apologize. There's Stephen Thompson, buddy. What's up? Good to see you. Hey, Zax. I've already said it. Mr. Angel. Hey there. Can't stay. Well, that's okay. You popped in and said hello. That's all that counts. And we're glad you did. So I hope you rest well, Mr. Angel. Thank you for popping in. And definitely get some rest there. David Rayburn. What's up, buddy? Is this the Britney Spears channel? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And she will be here eventually. I know she won't. But she could, I doubt I'm going to go out on a limb and doubt that Britney's a geek of any stripe. And, but she's still kind of cute. So she could join me if she wanted to. I wouldn't have a problem with that. And she's crazy cute. We all like that, don't we? Boy, just kidding. So, yeah. What else? Are we pro or anti Britney? I don't have a stand one way or the other. Nerod and Anaxamanda Bear. Britney is actually from my neck of the woods. I live very close to where she grew up, and I'm not pro or anti, but I certainly wish her well. I always thought she was kind of cute. As far as the music is concerned, I probably don't know much of her music. I'm old, and I like oldies and old rock and roll and stuff like that. So. But I certainly have nothing against her and hope, I know what little I know about what's going on with her seems pretty terrible. It's, it's a damn shame. That's what fame can do to you, I suppose, right? But, yeah, so. Yeah, David, she grew up not too far from us up there in like Kentwood or Greensburg or somewhere over there. Somewhere about those parts, I believe. Well, there you go. Her music is propaganda, but I don't think she knew what she was doing. Well, that could definitely be the case. She was started as a very young star, but anyway. I'll tell you who did know what he was doing, though. Jack Kirby. This is, of course, August. I'll do a few show notes. It's Jack Kirby month. Even though it's obviously for the comic book shows, we're still doing our normal stuff. This past Monday night, had a good time hanging out with you all, talking about the creations of Jack Kirby. Everyone was fantastic. Tonight's just kind of Wednesday nights, wild card Wednesday night's always kind of an open show. Sometimes it could be, I can do a topic. Sometimes just open talk, just hanging out with you good friends, of course. And, but show notes. Tomorrow there will unfortunately be no Global Geek Gang. But there will be a Global Geek Gang show this week. It's just not tomorrow as usual. It's usually 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, or it has been anyway, on Thursdays. It has been moved for this show note. Sunday, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. As many of you may know, August 8th, 1961, the debut of Fantastic Four #1. The comic that changed all of the comics industry forever. One of the most important, if not certainly one of the top 3 most important comic books ever. Steven, you cannot DM me. I don't know. I'm not sure why, but I'll look into it. Someone else has told me that once before, Steven. I'll figure it out if you help me remember that. I'm not sure exactly. If you followed me, I probably follow you. If not, I usually follow back unless I just didn't see it or something. That's strange. I get DMs from a lot of people. I'm under some kind of dumb setting. Steven, I will look into it, sir. Because that's better than my emails. My emails, I never check. I'm Twitter, Twitter, you say what you want about Twitter, but it's very easy for keeping in contact with people. The DMs on Twitter, even the DMs on Facebook. But the DMs on Twitter are really, I like it better. I use it more because I keep in contact with more people that way than I do my email, which I've got to get to a better habit with. Anyway, Fantastic Four #1. We will be celebrating the world's greatest comic magazine, Marvel's First Family. One of the many great creations of Jack Kirby, Jack King Kirby, here on Kirby Month. Saturday night, of course, as always, folks, just killing it out there. Been having a fantastic time with my wonderful, beautiful First Officer RM, Raquel Briggs, Commander Raquel Briggs. She is the greatest, and it has been so much fun, and you have all been so much fun hanging out with us for Saturday Night Star Trek. Badass buddy. What's up, man? And so I'm looking forward to that, as always. 4 more episodes. We're still in that sloggy first season of Star Trek: The Next Generation. But like I said, Global Geek Gang won't be Thursday. It'll be Sunday. And, so keep that up there for a while, I guess. So, but, yeah, I'm trying to work out a few more different things for Kirby Month. Some Kirby-specific topics. Obviously, on the Monday Mark C. Comic Show, they'll be doing a lot of it there. Again, the aforementioned Sunday night, or Sunday afternoon celebration of Fantastic Four #1, JPRPH1. How do you pronounce that, by the way? Hail, though. Good to see you. JP, I'll say JP. Is that like Pat S did there, brother? JP, good to see you. So I'm definitely trying to come up with more topics, Kirby topics. I have a couple of things planned, maybe an interview or two I'm trying to get together. So, and by the way, Janet, Doomcock really liked that thing you made for him. He's really appreciates it. And so, it was very sweet of you to do that. Very cool. And he liked it a lot. So I'm sure whenever he gets it, and I will let you know. So anyway, what the hell? Oh, okay. What do we do? I'll tell you what. It will be there Friday. Oh, okay. All right. Good. Now, I don't know if that's some sort of P.O. box that he goes and visits every now and then or whatever it is, but he will get it. So, yeah. Neron and Anaximander, did Stanley really steal Jack Kirby's wife? No, that would be false. Stan was happily married for many years, as was Jack. Stan to Joan and Jack to Roz. Monkey Jeebus, good to see you. Janet from another planet. Thank you so much. Oh, you're too kind. You don't have to do that. Thank you so much. I'm glad to see you there, Monkey Jeebus. But yeah, Neron, no, I'm afraid I've never heard that one before. I mean, there are a lot of disputes about credit and who did what and all that kind of stuff. The whole Stan versus Jack who did what thing is something I've been kind of more or less obsessed with for 35 years or whatever now. Badass. What's that? Clobberin and Doomcock just chat on the phone like real life buddies. No, we don't. We talk, but we've talked once. We've spoken a few times here and there, but no, yeah, we don't. He is at the center of the earth. No one can. The president or no world leader could even call down there. Yeah. According to EVS, Jim Lee stole Ale. I'm not sure who. I know who EVS and Jim Lee are, but Ale Garza's wife. That must be a comic book creator or someone like that I'm not familiar with. I was born on the same exact day as Jim Lee, but I'm not proud of it. A lot of people he was a nice enough guy. I think I met him once. I never was big on Jim Lee's art, to be honest with you. A lot of people love it, which is fine. Well, Neurot, they were characters. I'm through the greatest geek experiences of my life. I don't know. I say it enough, but a lot of people, you're kind of new here, were the 2 times I met Jack Kirby and spent some time with he and his wonderful wife, Roz. And he is a character, no question about it, but a very genteel and very, quiet man with great stories and stuff like that, and an amazing voice. And because I've always been kind of a little not too happy with what went on between them, I'm not the biggest Stan fan like a lot of people are. So I never took the opportunity. I've been at many cons that he was at, but I never went up and talked to Stan. So, however, yes, you can tell. Whatever else you want to say about him, a character he definitely was. Yeah. Yeah, Jack was kind of a quiet guy. He would talk. Now, I don't know wasn't good at talking, Monkey Jeebus. I'm not so much sure about that because Jack would talk for a long time. You got him up on a panel or something like that. And once he got going, I think he was fine, but he didn't have the same kind of personality as Stan. So now, but Jack was more reserved, but he really liked to. When he got to talking about creating or his art or things like that, he could talk. Yeah. Oh, you're right. Absolutely, Monkey Jeez. He was not a salesman. He was not Funky Flashman. Let's see. Yes. And someone walks into, whatever Doomcock's secret identity was, Alfred walks in and just like on the old TV show, and when the red phone's going off, and his red phones. It's the red phones. Because you can't, down there at the center of the earth, you can't flash the Doomcock signal into the sky because although he has sensors, he could probably see it. We may need to have a Doomcock signal. So, no. But he has the Doomcock cave and the Doomcock poles and all that stuff, so to speak. And the red food and the bard. Janet, the first comic that my dad read to me was from the New Gods comics. Wow. Kirby's Fourth World was something. He was quite proud of it for the time it lasted there, and really, when he left Marvel to go to DC in 1970, he had a lot of plans. But it just didn't really. He got kind of screwed over at DC as well and went back to Marvel after about 4 or 5 years, whatever it was. And, wow, cool, Janet. Hooked on comics. Love some comics. One thing I'll show you tonight. Since it is Jack Kirby night. I don't know. Do any of you here? I know you know about him, D. Bud and Phantom. Tomorrow's publications. Who, man, they make the best mags. Look, the only things that are quote unquote new things, in other words, things being published today, that I love to read that are related to comic books are comic book magazines and some of the comics history books that Tomorrow's puts out. I love them. I love Back Issue Magazine. I have every issue of that. They're up to 128 or whatever. I have every issue of the Jack Kirby Collector. I get Alter Ego, Roy Thomas's Alter Ego magazine often. I don't have every issue of it. I pick and choose with that, but even though I pick and choose, when they do an issue, interesting to me, I definitely like to check it out. And the newest issue, the latest issue of Roy Thomas's Alter Ego magazine. Matthew Pounder, good to see you. Thanks for popping in. Is all about the aforementioned King of Comics. It's all about Jack Kirby. And obviously I can't show much of it. Oh, you met Michael Urey, huh, Stephen? Cool. Michael Urey's a really nice guy, from what I understand. I'd like to meet him and talk to him. I'd like to have him on the show. I'd like to get John Morrow on. John Morrow, of course, is the publisher to Morrow's, and he makes a Jack Kirby Collector. And we've talked to him on the phone before, and I started ordering the Jack Kirby Collector from John Morrow when it was a thin little black and white little paper on really flimsy paper in the mid 90s, and I bought every issue. And it's quarterly, so it takes forever to come out. I loved it when it was almost big like a Treasury edition size format. I hate that they changed it. But I also love, like I say, Alter Ego, the new issue of Alter Ego. And I won't show much of this because I know they probably wouldn't appreciate it. I just want to show a little of it. And hopefully they will say, Alter Ego, if you're out there, disclaimer, I'm just a big fan of your mag that wants to show it off a little bit, a little plug for you guys, not showing anything or, not giving anything away or anything like that. And I wouldn't do that to Roy Thomas or John Morrow, but I'm just showing how much I like the comics. I just show the mag, and this is the new issue right here. All about Kirby. And I'm all about Kirby. And, you can't, and this one's dedicated to you, D-Bud. The secret origin of Iron Man, Kirby. Well, Kirby Heck, old shithead. Because I know, you are an Iron Man guy, D-Bud Martin. And so this is a great mag. I really love it. I love all their mags. And like I said, I'm not trying to I don't want to get any kind of copyright strike. I know it's not the same show in the video, but I just show a few excerpts here just to plug it because I love the mag so much. Big Iron Man article. Pretty cool stuff. Just a few snippets here. Yeah. So, I can't show much of it, obviously. The top 10 Jack Kirby Marvel Slugfest. Now, this guy who wrote it, John the Amigo Stretch Altamino, is a buddy of mine. I used to have him on my old show. I'm going to get him on and talk about this article. That'll be a fun Kirby topic. I'm going to talk to that. Now I want to talk to that rascal and try to get him on here. And I'll just show a little bit more. And I'll get his permission to show more if he lets me show. But I love that he did that. I just got this mag. I haven't had a chance to read it all yet, but I got, and yes, I buy the physical of it. The thing about Tomorrow's, it's great, is if you buy the physical, I buy everything from their website. And if you buy that, you get the digital, which if you don't want to mess your physical up, but you got I always have to have the physical. I've got every issue of back issue and Jack Kirby Collector. But if you get if you buy the physical, you get the digital for free, which is pretty cool stuff. And this is, just such a great mag. Of course, there's other stuff in Back Issue Magazine. So, anyway, get that off of there because I don't want to show too much. It's a great mag, though. I really do love it. And they also did. Now, again, we were talking earlier. Another quick plug for them. They can call it a plug, whatever. I just love the guys. Love what they do. They have a book out. Came out a couple of years ago. And then they came out with a corrected edition. It was considered to be an issue of the Jack Kirby Collector, even though it was in a trade or a large size trade paperback form. And where are you? If you're interested in finding out what went on between Stanley, Jack Kirby, and Steve Ditko as well is sort of included in there. In terms of who did what, is the most fair and balanced and well-researched account of that. Yeah, D-Bud, if you're lucky enough to have a shop that carries it, that's great, man. Like I said, I always go from the website. I like having the digital so I can have it in case I need to go somewhere with. But I like throwing the support to those guys because they're a company that I just love. I love people. They have so many great books on comics history, not just Kirby stuff. And Stephen, great. I love their books, man. I love Two Morrows is just fantastic. I'm gonna get John on here. I'm gonna try to get John and Michael Uri on here if they will come on, and John Cimino. He better come on here because he already said he would. He's a good dude though. He's a manager for Roy Thomas, the great Roy Thomas. And anyway, but yeah, if you could pick that up, man, it's pretty cool. It's a good issue. There's a book called Stuff Said. If you're interested in that, and it's comic book historical minutia, I suppose, but the controversy, if you will, or the conflict between who did what. Steve Mitchell, what's up, bro? Good to see you, buddy. In terms of the, again, conflict between Stanley and Jack Kirby, with some Ditko thrown in there. This is an extraordinarily well done, researched book. It's truly amazing. And I love it. And I'll just show a few excerpts from it. Max Redstone, hey there. Welcome, good to see you. Well, let's see here. Oh, Monkey Jeebus, let's see what you wrote there. About a bunch of Kirby Marvel archives, probably Masterworks from Diamond, 50% off books. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Great. Yeah, I love archives and Masterworks. Well done, sir. Well done. This book's amazing. This book is brilliant. And again, I had the original version when I read it a year or two back, whatever it was, but they have a corrected version that added some things to it, which I just got. I'm looking forward to tackling it. It's called Stuff Said. Kirby and Lee, Stuff Said, expanded second edition, researched, written, and edited by John Morrow. This book, opening arguments. And again, this is their property, so I'm not trying to appropriate or anything. I'm just going to show what give you an idea what it is, in case people are interested in seeing something like this. I just think it's amazing. I just think it's incredible. It's a great book. They have, what he basically does, for those who don't know, is John Morrow he makes the cases for both sides, and he takes their own words. He finds different, and he puts them in different color fonts for who said what. Yes, he has his opinions and speculations and things like that. And when he does, he makes it very clear. This is an opinion about this thing. Because it's tough. There were no recording devices back then. There were no great ways to record stuff. And no one made captain's log, star date, so-and-so. No one, they didn't make a lot of precise records and stuff. But you can find things that they wrote in memos and stuff. And in letters pages. A lot of reprint books don't reprint letters pages. And I'm gonna stop. I just wanted to show a couple of pieces from it. Because again, this is not my property. The book's mine. I bought the book, of course. But, it's theirs. Apollo meets Minion, great to see you. But it's their, it's two Mars. I'm not trying to step on their toes. I just wanted to show their book off a little bit because I think it's a great book. It's fascinating. Of course, I'm just one of those weirdos that loves all the great books they do and stuff. Joe Simon, let's see. Matthew Powder, I have that one. That's pretty old. The Joe Simon book, Comic Book Myth Makers, is a must-have. I think I have that one if I'm thinking of the same book. Joe confirmed the Kirby account where he went up to Mark McGoodman and handed over concepts that he promised would turn the company around. Yes. Yes. But this book, Stuff Said, is just amazing. And it's just, wow, it's engrossing to me because, hey, Mark, deal with the sea. What's up, bro? Because obviously you have to go back. You know how many comic books he had to go back into? Not just other. Obviously, he got his sources are all over the place. But he had to find a lot of things. There are a lot of letters pages, especially in the early days. Stan handled a lot of the letters pages and answering fans and stuff like that. It's just so well detailed. I don't know how long John researched this thing. I would love to get him on and ask him some questions about it. He's probably been asked a lot, but I think I'm going to try to do that. And because he's a good dude. And it's just he doesn't take sides. Yes, the magazine is called the Jack Kirby Collector, but he shows the proper respect because there are a lot of people who choose to believe one guy and a lot of people who choose to believe another. A lot of people are not sure. I fall, confidently in the Kirby camp. I don't like what was done to Kirby. I think Stan was part of that. I don't like the way he told a lot of fibs and stuff, but he's gone now. And, again, while I had my problems with him, I always make sure that I should we have the book, King Kirby, Kirby King of Comics by Mark Evanier. Yes, I do, D-Bud. Great book. I have that one somewhere. Ended up getting it fairly cheap, if I recall. Let's see. But yeah, but if you weren't there, you do have to take certain, precautions and go, well, I reservedly believe this based upon the things said to me or that I've read that both gentlemen have said and talked about it. But look, there's nothing that can be done now about it. Unfortunately, both gentlemen are gone. I'll always hate the way I thought Kirby was treated, not just by Stan, but by Martin Goodman. Yes, Monkey Jeebus, Stan was quite frail at the end there. Again, my bud John Cimino and Roy Thomas visited him like just a couple of days before he passed. It's a damn shame. Yeah. Oh, yes. Speaking of, that Evanier book got me to buy the trades of Kirby's old romance and horror comics. Obviously, as a dude, I never really cared much for romance comics, but there's a book. Actually, Phantom Outsider, no, Goodman actually was not technically related to Stan. He was it was a close. People always called him his uncle, but he really actually wasn't Stan's uncle. He he was. I always get it confused because they would just say he was his uncle. No, he was a friend of the family who was like something along those lines. I always get it confused, but Goodman actually was not technically related to Stan. It was more like a distant cousin or an in-law. That's it. It was an in-law, I believe. Did you know? You know what? One of the weird stories I read about Martin Goodman is when he was coming back from his honeymoon. I can't remember the exact year that the Hindenburg blew up, but he was over in Germany or something like that. And he and his wife were supposed to fly back into Hindenburg, and they missed it and weren't able to get on the flight. For something stopped them from being able to get on the flight. And then, well, you know what happened? Oh, the humanity. If any of you ever read the book Marvel Comics, 37, okay, Marvel Comics, the Untold Story by Sean Howe. Oh, Raquel Briggs, my wonderful first officer. Love to see you. Yay! I love you. Yeah, something like that. I mean, by the way, Mark Evanier was very close to Jack. So, of course, this book is factual. Yeah. Oh, the humanity, May 6th, 1937. I remember the film with George C. Scott. I saw that. I think I saw the film in the theater way back in the 70s, whatever year that was, it came out about the Hindenburg. Called the Hindenburg, I do believe. Anyway, the hey, Monkey Jeebus, I do that all the time. I get my information so crossed that I mix things up so badly that I'll second guess myself and go, oh, you know what? I thought I knew that, but I don't trust myself. I need to go check that again. And if I become my own fact checker. Oh, Janet, I remember. I think I remember that year that he got sick and couldn't come to that one in New Orleans. That wizard. I don't know if they're going to have a wizard this year. Well, there you go. The second one in this series is Wolverine in the brown uniform on the cover. Which one? Well, there you go. Well, I think I'm going to try to get now. Wow. Doing this jogged my it gave me actually some ideas, I should say, for a Kirby show. I need to get John on here for that one. I like that topic. Writing it down now because my memory is garbage. Well, yeah, you would think that, see, as a kid, when I saw that film, Phantom Outsider, all I knew, I just thought the whole thing blew up. And I thought it got everybody. I know George C. Scott got to the bomb, but he was a little bit late, and boom, remember that? Well, that's not funny. It was a real thing. It was a real life tragedy. But I'm just saying, you know. MJ1 Media, welcome. It is good to see you here. Nah. So let's see here. Tomorrow's. I got a bunch of. Oh, I think it was mentioned. I think I mentioned, and then I got sidetracked myself there. But you mentioned, Kirby did so many different comics. Kogi Pan, hey there, D Bud. That he actually did romance comics. And MJ doing well, man. Appreciate it. It's good to see you. He actually did some romance comics, and Tomorrow's has a book coming out now. It's half off. I'm tempted to get it. It's called Dingbats in Love. It's one of those, and it's got unpublished Kirby stories from the 70s. And even though it's from a genre I don't really care about that much, I think I'm gonna have to get it. I think I'm gonna have to get. I don't know. Just because it has unpublished Kirby stuff, of course. It's good to see you there, number one. Good to see you there, number one. Mark D with the C, what are you doing, dude? What's going on, man? I don't always forget stuff. I don't really forget stuff. It just takes the time sometimes sorting through memories that are very similar. Yes, they get jumbled up, don't they? Yeah. Yeah, they do. Yeah, look, I'm with you there. I got you. Oh, my goodness. Well, what are you going to do? Let's see here. Yeah, they were. Gotcha, Mark D. Watching some Olympics, eh? I don't have TV anymore. I can't watch them, but I was at my brother's lot. I walked in. The guys they keep those on all day long, and I'm watching some pretty different all kind of weird stuff going on at the Olympics. Looks like some weird competitions. Yeah, but like you said, D Bud, they're Kirby comics, and these are again unpublished ones. So I'm probably going to just break down and get that book. It's half off. What the hell? It's a hardcover and it's half off. Oh my goodness. Where are you? I'm sorry, I'm having a bit of a little technical issue with my StreamYards there. I think I'm all right though. And there we go. Well, this again is just an open show, folks, so that won't go that long. But again, for those who weren't here earlier, again, a quick update in a note. No Global Geek Gang tomorrow because it's going to be on Sunday, August 8th, 1961. And then August, well, that's right, we're going to time travel to 1961, folks. And we're going to, I guess, a bit of a preview. We are going to talk about other things of the FF, of course. But we're going to talk about issue 1 a good bit. And this wasn't issue 1 right here, of course. But just show some, and this wasn't. And one of the things I'm going to do, I think, is I want to ask everyone what was there, since this, almost probably none of us here are old enough, maybe not even Phantom Outsider, to have bought Fantastic Four #1. Kidding, Phantom Outsider. I don't know. Phantom Outsider, you're not older than me, are you? I don't think you were. A comic that came out before even I was born, folks. Imagine that. And by the time I was born, they were really, really hitting their stride with this comic. And by the time I would actually get a Fantastic Four comic book, Kirby wouldn't even be drawing it anymore. Steve Butcher. Yeah. Now, it is to my utter shame and sadness that I don't have my Fantastic Four collection that I used to have because of certain bad things happening to me in the early 90s. I idiotically sold it, but I did keep my copy of Fantastic Four number 51 because I got Jack Kirby to sign it. I got to dig it out. Well, I can't say I know Charlie X's birthday. You mean the Charlie X episode? Phantom Outside, you mean the actual episode of Charlie X? I presume. And if that's the case, okay, Janet, I'll take a look at those. D-Bud, look. Oh, the episode. Then yeah, I'm older than you then, Phantom. This is from, as you can, I'm sure you know, D-Bud. This, of course, pick here is from Fantastic Four number 4, one of my favorite issues. We can talk about a lot of that stuff. A quick side note: Stuart Mitchell. It's an open night. We can answer any kind of questions. What are your thoughts on Alec Klutzman's contract renewal with Viacom CBS? For me, Stuart, because I know we probably don't know each other yet. As a lover of Star Trek, obviously, it's been dead to me since 2009. While it certainly should make any Trek fan despair, because we thought Spock was dead once and we got him back. So we read comics and comic book characters come back to life. So there's always that hope in you that Star Trek could come back to life. It's dead. It's been dead since 2009 for me. Really 2005 when they unceremoniously assassinated Enterprise. But so it's been dead, but you always hope that it could come back to life because these are fantasy and fictional IPs of the imagination. So you always think something is possible, but certainly it's not possible for now another 5 to 10 years or to a decade. So it's sort of like its death is it's just been lowered deeper into the ground. And there's no chance for any kind of no chance at all that we could steal the Enterprise and see that the corpse of Star Trek has been shot off in a photon tube onto the Genesis planet to be regenerated. No hope of that. So, well, Max Redstone, you're right. It's already dead, but again, Spock was dead. He even said, I've been dead before, remember? But, Trek, anything can be revived. Again, for me, it's no deal unless someone were to come on and set it in the real Trek universe and said, that crap that bad reboot filth has no bearing on this. We're completely ignoring it. That done, I give something called Star Trek a chance again. But that's the deal. No, they're not going to do that probably. But I'm just saying that would be the only chance they would get it. And like all this Strange New Worlds and all this kind of trash, screw that. Jeffrey Hunter's Captain Pike, end the story. I don't care. And all the people go, but Anson Mount, look, maybe a fine guy and all that stuff. That's just not Trek to me. Monkey Gene, let's here. I'm so upset RB showed us footage of Star Trek he made. It shows you what we can't have, huh? I've gotten to a point, D-Bud, in all seriousness. Yes, I'm more sad than angry now, but for many years I've been angry. I'm still obviously a bit angry about what's happened to Star Trek, Doctor Who, Star Wars, Marvel, you name it. I'm upset about it, but I try to just compartmentalize a little bit, deal with it a little bit, and not to explain. I have outraged on it before, especially on the old show when I was on BTR. I don't do it here as much as I used to. But yes, Stephen Thompson, it's just, yeah. I mean, so you could call anything Star Trek. I'll tell you what I liken it to. When I have to explain sometimes to people of what this rotting, disgusting corpse from '09 on up, bad reboot filth is, with the name Star Trek on it, I kind of look at it this way. Have any of you seen the film Shaun of the Dead? And it pertains to one of the dumbasses in part of the bad reboot crap. When I liked Simon Pegg, I liked that movie. Like you say, Mark, did with the sea, we can still watch the real stuff. They can't take it away from us so far. In Shaun of the Dead, toward the end, spoiler alert, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you've been spoiled. It's an old movie. But anyway, in that film, and it was a funny film. It was a lot of fun. I love Nick Frost. Those guys were hilarious together. His buddy, Nick Frost, in the film, of course, gets bitten by a zombie, gets turned into a zombie. And at the end of the film, again, spoiler alert, sorry, but it's for a point. Unfortunately, when one of your loved ones gets bitten by a zombie in the context of that fiction and that little universe, they're not the same. They're dead. They're walking dead, literally. They're not the same. They're not. That person's gone. It's their husk. It's a rotting, ugly-fied husk of a creature that just looks like your friend or family member, whoever it was. It's but it's not the same being. And he the Simon Pegg character of Sean in this movie, and it's a comedy, but he keeps the zombified version of his friend, because he couldn't bear to lose his friend, chained up outside in the back shed or whatever, playing video games with him, and it keeps him from biting him. And it's just this rotting looking corpse that doesn't really know what it is, going through these motions. It's a zombie. It's not really his friend, but he can't let go. In my opinion, the people who continually try to fool themselves into saying that the bad reboot trash filth is actually Star Trek, because any old Trek called Trek, as I call it, to them, Star Trek in name only, doesn't matter. If it's got that name on it, that label on it, they'll accept it. And so I've been using this analogy for years. I'm saying that's what we have here. When people who are in denial and they'll just take anything called Trek. It's called Trek, I have to love it. And I've had people tell me that, well, it's called Star Trek, I have to love it. I've had the people say those words to me. But it's not. It's a rotting corpse walking around. It's a disfigured monstrosity. It's an abomination of Star Trek. It is. It's an ugly, disgusting. Really, it's an insult to real Star Trek, which is something beautiful. I mean, and beautiful things are not always perfect either. In fact, sometimes they're beautiful because they're imperfect. And they have their flaws, but they're still beautiful. Star Trek is beautiful. Everything, but things called Star Trek now legally from 2009 on are not. They're an ugly distortion and an embarrassment put together by idiots and fools who do not understand it, do not care about it. In fact, probably pretty much hate it and hate its fans. That's what's being puked out now by Bad Reboot, CBS. It's what it is. That is true, Pat S., about Walking Dead. I used to read the comic. I never watched the show much, couldn't get into it. But that is true. The Walking Dead were the humans. I mean, the people who were still not infected yet. Yeah. So that's where we're at with Star Trek. And, we're kind of there with the Fantastic Four, which is, a wonderful Kirby creation. Because the Fantastic Four right now, when I see this old stuff, if you, no pun intended, I marvel at it. The Fantastic Four are the reason Marvel Comics exists really right now. And to have them treated the way they've been treated is just disgusting. And they were actually, canceled for a few years. A few years ago, they canceled FF Comics. And around, exactly, Mark, around 2018, they brought them back to much fanfare, and they let Dan Slott write it. Dan Sloth, okay? Now, he's written a couple comics like 20 years ago that I thought were pretty good, but after that, I really just can't stand him. And he comes along, I don't know. He sucks. And he has, not only does Slot suck, let's forget about it. Even if Slot were doing a good job, which he didn't. I gave it 13 issues. I promised a good friend of mine who was a hardcore FF fan, and he came on the show back then. And I said, look, okay, just because they're bringing them back, modern comics really make my eyes bleed. To be perfectly honest with you, I'm that old man sitting on the porch at this point. Modern comics make my eyes bleed. I just can't stand modern art. There's some of them, don't get me wrong, I can't draw. Some of them, look, God bless them, if you like their work. Just that's just me. We're all different. But I decided, okay, 13 issues, and I gave it 13 issues. It was 2018. They were making a big deal about bringing the FF back. Should have been called the Fantastic 44. The artist that they gave the book to was terrible, and they couldn't keep the schedule, so they kept switching it around. I remember they had one issue, and I can't remember what it was now, that kind of featured Ben, and there were like a couple of pages, and I'm drawing a blank right now, but it was actually an artist that I kind of liked, that I thought was okay, and I'm going, whoa, part of this book looks pretty good. What happened? They should keep this guy, and it was a guy I was familiar with. But I can't remember his name. And, a few pages in, and he was gone already. They had no consistency, the art, except it was mostly consistently bad. And Pounder said, Matthew Pounder, haven't read it since the Wade run. But yeah, wow. Look, and I think I liked Wade's first run. Remember, he came back, and I don't think I liked it too much. As much as I love JMS, Mr. Straczynski, I hated his run on FF, to be honest with you. Wow, D-Bud, you haven't read Floppy since 1999. Look, I don't blame you, man. Wish I could say that. Everyone has flaws there. So, I don't know. But I did like that first Wade run. 13 issues. I couldn't take it anymore. And it's still going for some reason. Well, yeah, I mean, we know why. And it's freaking terrible. I hate, oh my God, it's so bad. And what are you going to do? You mentioned, was it Stephen Thompson? You mentioned Byrne and Wade had great. I like Byrne's first couple of years. And again, when you say Byrne, you have to be specific to when he actually was doing the writing as well, because he actually drew the book a couple of times before, a good bit before he left it, then came back to take over the full creative chores. Phantom Outsider says, they are written like garbage, like stupid garbage. Hey, with greater power comes a greater responsibility, but hey, let Spider-Man make a deal with Mephisto. Ugh. Yeah, look, dude, I'm with you. Or put everyone in the Avengers and instead of action, turn it into a philosophy debate club with no common sense universe. That's Bendis crap. If you probably, yeah, being destroyed. Here's another thing about that. That's another thing they did to the Avengers. It was the early aughts or whatever. They couldn't just have one Avengers title. No. They had everyone had to be. The Avengers became an army. MJ1 Media. I'm not so sure it was Stan that named the thing. Ben, the character of, I think Jack did most of the work anyway when it comes to creating the FF and the other ones. Stan mostly wrote the credit boxes. After Drew, yeah, that's a good point. Stan wrote credit boxes. I mean, he participated. So naming characters, I don't know, but I think Jack named him that, but I can't really, whichever one of them actually decided on it. It was it worked out. It was a pretty good idea, but what made, again, I think it was Jack that named him the Thing, to be honest with you, because the Thing is Jack Kirby. Now Kirby didn't have the same personality so much. It's just that he was he based a lot of his soul. He's the first Orthodox Jewish character, superhero, for one thing, as Jack was. And and so much of his life, Ben's background is based on Kirby's life. That's true. Turpin is Kirby. That's right, Mom. That is true, Monkey Jeebus. Let's see. Well, let me get that one there first. I liked Byrne's Dr. Doom stories, but I didn't think the other stuff was wrong with anything special. I kind of liked his first 2 years or so, though. And then, as you can see with Byrne a lot, I think he got bored. First of all, he should have been allowed to ink himself. Agreed with that lousy Mephisto deal. They could have kept Spider-Man and a grown man and still have a struggle with the responsibility of being a dad, teaching them to be next Spidey. But no, Quesada. Quesada was just a... Yeah, with you. It's absolutely true, Matthew Pelner. That's right. Kirby's grandfather was named Ben. That's right. That's true. Yeah. What if number 11, the classic? What if the Marvel bullpen had become the Fantastic Four? One of the few comics of that era that interiors that Kirby worked on. I love that issue. I love that one. Oh man. You said it, Monkey Jeebus. That is absolute garbage. Gwen Stacy's affair with was it Norman Osborn? To hell with that crap. I hate when they do crap like that. So they bring back, look, I can't even name it the last time. Well, if I were to think back the last time I was buying the comic regularly, and when it was the last run of note that people talked about, of course, was the Hickman run. And I never could get into the Hickman run on FF. And I tried, because, everyone would come to me and said, man, have you been reading the Hickman run on FF? Because they know how much I love FF, people who are reading it. And I said, I'm not buying current Marvel comics. Oh, no. Oh, no, you'd love it. This guy's back to basics. He's so John Hickman run, of when it was the 2000s, whatever it was. No, you got to grab it. You got to go pick it up. So, it just didn't do much for me. This was only a few years after I dumped the book again. And again, there was a time in my life, I know it was a long time ago, if you told me that I would ever stop buying the FF, but Byrne kind of made me do it. In the mid-'80s, look, I liked his first few years. Then he started getting weird. I think he just got bored and started doing silly shit. I couldn't stand it when they go into the negative zone and come out and it changes their costume color. Why? Oh, my God. And I hated those blue and white costumes. Freaking hated it. But if you'd at least written it into the story, like, we're going to change our costumes, our uniforms. Then I go, yeah. But no, he had to come up with a stupid-ass contrived reason for it. I remember I was at the shop I was working at the time, not the one I owned later. Where's Eric K? No, Google Comic Shop, Cabal Conspiracies. At the comic shop I was running at the time, I was really pissed at the costume change, of their uniforms change. And I was bitching about it. And then, it wasn't too long before they decided to dump Marvel 2-in-1, give Ben his own comic, and take him out of the FF and put She-Hulk in. Now, I know everyone really loves She-Hulk. People forget. It's funny how people kind of forget what was going on in certain. I don't know how to explain it, but She-Hulk. Look, when that happens, I don't know, Eric. I think Eric's busy or something, D-Bud. I know he's a busy man, but we love Eric. Hopefully he's doing well, and he will pop in. So, but She-Hulk was not popular at first, folks. They only did it so they could, protect the female version of the Hulk type, the IP type of a deal. And it was called the Savage She-Hulk title. I remember I bought the first one. And yes, Stan Lee, quote unquote, wrote the first one. Had John Buscema art, at least. And I thought that's okay. He's got, Bruce Banner's cousin, blood transfusion becomes the She-Hulk. Yeah, whatever. And I think I probably didn't buy one or two others. And I was like, comic sucks. Who was it? Mike Vosberg doing the art most of the time. So I dumped the Savage She-Hulk. I thought it was a silly, dopey comic that I didn't want to read. I was a young, in my teens, mid-teens, late teens. I didn't really want to read it. It just didn't do it for me. And so I thought she was a joke. They put her in Avengers, because Byrne put her in Avengers too, didn't he? And I kind of stopped buying Avengers at that point for a while. I thought the art was getting kind of crappy. I was getting to that. I was at that age, when there was an actual thriving comic book industry. I was getting to that age where I wanted, I guess maybe I was just, I don't know, wanted to experiment with other types of part of the medium of the art form. I loved superheroes, but there were a couple of good superhero titles. But for the most part, Again, I wanted to see different things, and I couldn't stand hacky art. Now I look back at that art and I like it a lot better. But at the time, some of the stuff Marvel, especially Jim Shooter, who was just doing a lot of hacky stuff, hiring a lot of hacks, chasing away the best artists from Marvel. Lenzer, hey there. But I was getting kind of tired of that stuff. And Byrne, this is how I got chased away from the FF. Now I know it was not Byrne's decision to replace Ben with She-Hulk. But at that point, She-Hulk was kind of just a joke to me. So I said, he's putting She-Hulk in this comic, I'm dumping it. I can't believe I'm dropping the Fantastic Four. But I did. And by the way, I thought his art had gotten really crappy. He never should have. John Murray should never be allowed to ink himself on comics ever. I was at that age, I kind of wanted edgier stuff. But the thing is, what I was saying about She-Hulk is, then a few years later, whatever it was it late 80s, early 90s, I forget exactly when Byrne got a hold into their next title, The Sensational She-Hulk, and first of all, his art, he was John Byrne, it was popular. I believe he bounced back from DC to do a Marvel book again for a while after he left. He bounced back to go back to Marvel a little bit there. She was breaking the fourth wall. The comic was played for laughs. He drew her really sexy, and people, a lot of young guys liked it. And imagine that. And she became very popular. Did She-Hulk, which of course is fine. But it's too late. I already really wasn't a fan of her. So now she's really liked. Before Byrne, and it was Byrne's popularity, he made that a fun book that people really liked. But before the Sensational She-Hulk title, her second title, a lot of people really weren't that into She-Hulk. Let's put it like that. They weren't really, not a lot of people cared as much, if you know what I'm saying. But she never didn't belong in the FF. By the time Ben came back, I think the Thing comic only lasted like 36 issues or whatever. And unfortunately, at that time, as much as I loved the Thing and the character, I didn't think that comic really had the greatest of art either. I mean, I like Ron Wilson a lot more today, but I was younger and it wasn't really what I was looking for. I was into Alan Moore and Frank Miller then. I was at that age, late teens, early 20s, where I wanted the edgy stuff. Now I'm different. Obviously, you're not. When you're that age, of course you're different from what you are when you get to be a senior citizen like myself. So, what you gonna do? The Fantastic Four just started getting schlocky to me. Again, a lot of people, when Byrne finally left it, I think Steve Englehart took it over. They started doing crap like, what was it? I'm trying to think. Alicia and putting Alicia and Johnny together. Oh my God, it really aggravated me. And they never really lured me back that much. I think I would pop in once in a while and grab the book, but I wasn't buying it regularly anymore. And then I think I bought it, when Simonson went back for like a whole 3 or 4 issues. I was excited about that. It didn't last. And ever since then, I've read the Wade run, and in other words, when a good team would come on there, and I'd give it a look in, because I love the Fantastic Four so much, but I wasn't the kind. I never stayed slavish to it where I had to buy every issue no matter what. If they were, because I couldn't bear to pick it up on a regular basis and see them just written horribly and drawn worse sometimes. Again, compared to modern day comics, no, but at the time there was a lot better stuff going on, a lot better artists, and a lot of that stuff was pretty hacky. Oh yeah, well, and now let's see here. One of you were mentioning Challengers of the Unknown. Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, D-Bud, look, I couldn't stand that crap. Alicia with Johnny, yes, we know she turned out to be a scroll, but it's still stupid. And a lot of people swear by the DeFalco run. I know. Oh, I got buddies up who love DeFalco. I don't know. And I was just looking on the book. I like Ron Friends, and I like some of these other artists. Of course, Joe Sennett went back and inked a lot of it. I just didn't really. It never at the time. It wasn't what I wanted. Hell, I mean, now it looks like, I mean, it's lovely compared to the crap they do now. What's up, cuz Dave Rainbow, buddy? Well, they've done the modern geek stuff. It makes me want to go over to Hallmark Channel and broadcast Commando 24/7. There you go, bud. In early FF, Sue faces off against Dr. Doom. She using her force field, holds him off as soon as the guys show she's all red. Kirby had her hold Doom at bay solo. Lee makes her talk like a damsel. Yeah, there's the thing in distress. Hey, Catman D.D. Myers, hello there. And here's the thing about that. This is, when we talk about things, and again, this is not picking on Stan or anything. I say this a lot. I don't even care if it's controversial. I don't think it should be. But when you look back at those old comics, those wonderful comics during that 60s renaissance of comics from Marvel, the Lee Kirby collabs and stuff like that, only one thing there's only one thing about them that ever feels dated. Now, again, if you look at this cover of the FF, and if you look at Kirby's style, was very crude compared to the way it developed after a couple of years. For example, this was a very crude style. I mean, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I'm with you. Mark D, with the same. But what was the one thing? There's only one thing that doesn't hold up, because you got to look at them through the lens of, hey, this was the 60s, comics look different. But Kirby really honed his style. It got better and better. And up by issue, when you started like in issues into the high 20s and the issues 30s and the 40s and issue 50, 40 something, and especially when Sinnott came along inking the comic, but even before that, but especially when he came on, the art looks, I mean, you went from a crude, but still this was great stuff. It gave us what we got later. That kind of crude style to, I mean, when he really started good God, look at the difference. It's fantastic. No pun. Yes, pun, actually. But, so, here's a list of the things that still hold up to this day, especially during its heyday, mid-60s. The art, of course, whether it's Kirby, it's a Ditko book or whatever. The characters, I mean, that speaks for itself. These characters have survived the test of time, even though they're being horribly handled today. The ideas, these characters and ideas have produced billions of dollars, because it must be for a reason, because people enjoy them. They survive because the ideas and the characters are potent. The concepts, the ideas, the characters, the stories. Sure, they can be hokey. The story elements, yes, the story's a little bit hokey, but they hold up because there's the charm to it. The only thing that doesn't hold up is what Stan's major contribution was the dialogue. Just the dialogue. That's the only. It's very dated in some cases. Look, even I'm no what we like to jokingly call it SJW, as people joke. But man, it was some of the writing and the way Sue was treated. There was some. I mean, Stan had Reed really talk some pretty sexist stuff to Sue. I mean, let's just be honest. Now, I'm not even regardless of whatever time frame you want to talk about. It was anyway. I almost use the word regardless. Don't hurt me, Raquel. Did you know the Stan based Sue Storm, Gwen Stacy, and I think Madam Web on his wife? Well, again, Madam Web for sure. I mean, but he did say a lot of things. Stan says a lot. Yeah, Madam Web kind of looked like Aunt May. But I think Sue. Yeah, I think a lot of Sue is based on Joan. Yeah. Well, yeah, MJ. Look, it was a different decade. Don't get me wrong. But if you read some of it now, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said dated. It's not evil. Dated. You read it now, and some of the ways, some of the things that for example, Reed would say to Sue. By the way, I'm just laughing at it. It's not. I'm not. It's not evil or anything. Yeah, that is absolutely. That's a good one. Was it who said that? Yeah, Glenser said. Yeah, Reed with 5 o'clock shadow looks like Nick Fury, the real Nick Fury. Yes. Yeah, I'm just pointing it out that the one thing that kind of doesn't hold up, and I mean, not just that dialogue I'm mentioning. There's a lot of cringy dialogue when you read them, but everything else, especially in the heyday, like in the mid '60s, holds up. Holds up. Yeah. There you go. Did you guys ever read? You're talking about Sue and the way Reed treated her like crap. There was an FF story. Well, sort of an FF story. Kurt Busiek, who's one of my favorite writers. Of course, I love Astro City and I love Marvels and a lot of things he's done. Did anyone ever read Untold Tales of Spider-Man? Which is a book I really enjoyed, and that's another one of my favorite things that Busiek did. I'm sorry, it's really Busiek. Oh, I've just called him Busiek forever. Then I heard him pronounce his name. It's Busiek. Sorry. My apologies to Mr. Busiek. Well, Untold Tales of Spider-Man had the I believe it was the 1996 Untold Tales of Spider-Man yearbook. It's an annual, basically an annual, but they called it yearbook. Mike Allred did the art. So it had a nice Silver Age, kind of a Kirby-ish type feel to it. Oh, well, this was in the mid 90s, MJ. If you're a Spider-Man fan, I highly recommend it. Untold Tales, basically. And the only thing you have to do is when you see the art, these stories take place in the early days of Spider-Man, in between the issues or the panels, even in some cases. Like, he would have a story that just, again, like I said, untold. So for example, take Spider-Man number 6, right? Well, an untold issue by Busiek would take place in between those happenings, if you see where I'm coming from. Sometimes in the midst of one issue's events, sometimes between issues, and it lasted. I can't remember how long it lasted. There's an omnibus of it. I don't know if there are other trades, but if you can find them, I loved it. Now again, that art, because it was the '90s, and some of the characters, you can go, I'm not so sure that exactly fits 100% right, but it was a fun comic. And the issue, the '96 yearbook, which was basically an annual, by Mike Allred, who was doing kind of a Kirby look. It was one of the most hilarious comics. I need to find a picture of it. It was great. I'm going to find a picture of it here. I'm going to pull out a picture. It's a kind of a Spidey, because I always love the dynamic between Johnny Storm and Spidey, the friendship between Human Torch and Spider-Man. But there was also a rivalry, and basically, Spider-Man. Now, again, it's been a while since I've read it, and I'm not gonna spoiler it anyway, other than to say, the Spidey did something to Torch, so Torch was pissed off at him. And he wanted revenge on Spider-Man for something. So he thought it would be a fun idea to tell the Submariner that, because Spider-Man had a bad reputation in those days, to tell the Submariner that Spider-Man had kidnapped. Oh, Spider-Man. Oh, first of all, Spidey was pissed at the Torch. I'm sorry, I got it backwards. Spidey was pissed at the Torch first. And so he went and asked Sue out on a date, and Sue was pissed off at Reed. To piss Reed off, she went out with Spidey. It's a silly, fun story that takes place in the Silver Age. Johnny got pissed at that, so he told Submariner that Spider-Man had kidnapped her. And from there, wackiness ensues. Let's put it like that. Fun, dopey, cool, just really cute, fun story that I really enjoyed. And I highly recommend Untold Tales of Spider-Man, and that was a hilarious, fun issue there. Oh, there you go. So yeah, like I said, it was a fun title. This one was really a nice little throwback. So yeah, I mean, look, it's been a while since I've read them myself, but I really enjoyed them in the '90s. I need to get. I wanted to get that omnibus of it. I don't know if there's some trades. You can. The issues might be fairly cheap. I don't know. Let me see show you some of the covers. And at the time, this comic, they were putting it was 99 cents at the time. It was cheaper. So, MJ Media, let's see. Oh, okay. Oh, you found it? Let's see. Someone put how many? There you go. 25 issues and a couple of annuals. Okay. I think I bought them all. I was, I was really enjoying it. So, again, you have to suspend a little bit. That they weren't gonna. The guy wasn't really. It was a Ditko feel, but it really didn't like Ditko. Let's see here, Dave Rayburn. 1.07, huh? I'm not sure what that figure is. Elaborate on that one, Dave Rayburn. Is that how much the comic? $1.07 with tax, you mean? I got you. I see what you mean. Oh yeah. In the 90s even, right? Well, that actually depends on where you were though, Dave. Because as you know, and depending on which parish or county, depending on where you live, taxes vary, do they not? Or did? Yeah, but yeah, you had to pay that tax when you bought the new comic. Anyway, fun comic. But back to the FF a little bit. Well, 97 annual. Look at that. Even in the 90s, some comics could still be a little fun. Remember that? And I can look. A lot of people, because who are younger than me, this is a confession, guys. I'm old, you know it. I've heard people of late wax Raxodic about or wax nostalgic, about the 90s, various things in the 90s. I'm just an 80s guy through and through. My young adulthood was all 80s, not my childhood being 70s. So the 90s came along. I was pretty jaded. Now, again, compared to the crap now, but I didn't like a lot of the mainstream crap in the 90s that a lot of my younger friends liked. Let's see here. This series was part of an experiment from Marvel where they published a number of new titles for 99 cents. Yes. That's true, Steve Mitchum. I was trying to quote Steve Martin and mix it up. In hopes that they would attract new young readers who might have put up. Yeah, I remember that, and they attracted this old one because I wasn't buying. I was buying almost no Marvel comics. I bought this because it was Busiek, and I was a big fan of Astro City and Marvels and things he did. So yeah. But let's see here. Let me look at something. I wasn't too happy with the Main Street stuff in the 90s, so but now I guess rose-colored glasses, really, because everything's so freaking bad. Let's see here. Did anyone remember the 30th? What was it? World's Greatest. What was it called? World's Greatest Comic Magazine? Comics. I think this is what it was. I think it was for the 30th anniversary of the 40th. Yeah. Did anyone follow this one? Fantastic Four, World's Greatest Comic Magazine. This was back for the 40th anniversary. I bought all these. Got a bunch of artists in the whole. Again, look, you can say what you want about this comic. Hey, Mando Mark, good to see you, man. No, Pat S. Never could stand Nirvana. Sorry, buddy. I like Al Yankovic's version of Nirvana. Oh, Janet, always lovely to see you, my dear. Thank you for being here. Have a wonderful night. Thank you so much. Let's see here. This book here, though. Say what you want about it. As I've been talking about how Marvel won't do anything. And have you seen some of the dumb stuff Marvel's planning to celebrate, to quote unquote, celebrate the Fantastic Four? At least this was an attempt to do something. I mean, some people didn't think it was all that great. They had a lot of Bruce Timm and a lot of other artists, and they did it to make it, to give it a Kirby type feel to it. It was 12 issues. You know, went over the course of a year. I really liked the covers. They were fun. I wonder if they did they ever do a trade of this? What if did they do a trade of this thing? Anyone know? So they're doing, that's what they're doing. They're going to redraw these jag-offs. You said it, Glenzer. Dr. Doom is the greatest. I'm with you there. These jackasses, as you mentioned, Stephen Thompson, to celebrate the 60th anniversary. This is they did that stupid life story, the Fantastic Four, whatever that crap is, which is a disgrace. They're coming out with these, and some of the artists are kind of respectable that I know of, but not all of them. These redraws of Fantastic Four #1 and Fantastic Four Annual #3. I think it's 1 and 3. I mean, it's issue 1 and an annual 3, which was the wedding of Reed and Sue. Redrawing them. At least this was, they did 12 issues and they did it in the old Kirby type of a style, but it was, kind of a throwback and homage. This, the 40th anniversary. Hey, when they did the 50th, they were total crap too, by the way. Now we're at 60. Can anyone remember how they celebrated the 50th anniversary? I can't. I remember this. I don't remember how they did the 30th. I didn't really like what they did either. But the 25th, in fact, the 25th was better. John Byrne did a good issue. Fantastic Four number 236 was great. That was a good way to celebrate the 25th anniversary, I believe it was. I can't get. Let's see. They did them as a hardcover, 26. What? These are a hardcover. Did you say this thing's a hardcover? Okay, I'd like to get that. But what they do for the 50th? Does anyone remember? I mean, I know they did something. I can't even remember right now. Here's the 60th, and they're going to redraw Fantastic Four number 1 with a bunch of different artists in annual number 3. Why? Thanks, Phantom. I never did pick up the trade on that one. Well, Fantastic Four. Okay. Hamilton book. They got good prices on some stuff there. Mark D. I hope I can remember that when I get done with it. I'll probably forget, but I'm writing it down now. Well, my writing down part. Hamilton. I'm sure I will forget. But it wasn't the greatest thing ever. But it was a pretty decent celebration. Yeah, Glenzer. Yeah. Thanks, Mark D. Let's see. FF 600 was the 50th anniversary. Okay. 600. Let me pull it up. Just to see how crappy it was. Because I may have bought it and don't remember. Oh, yeah. Jesus Christ. That was the 50th? Yeah. What a joke. See? See what I'm talking about here? Yeah. That's supposed to be celebrating the FF with stupid white costumes. Jesus Christ. I want to go back to the 40th. Shit on that. That is freaking horrible, man. Now I know why I even forgot about it, because I didn't buy that crap. I'm going to go way out on a limb and speculate that few people bought that crap, other than the normal, their ordinary, readership, I suppose, which was dwindling. So the 40th, I call this at least something. Wasn't a great look. It was something. That's right. It wasn't. Was Torch dead or something at that point, Stephen Thompson? I can't freaking remember. Was that around the time they killed the Human Torch? Who knows? Or cares? So yeah, they can't celebrate it. Yeah, the Future Foundation dribble. I can't believe it was that long ago. I can't remember. I can't believe that was that freaking long ago. Holy shit. Uh-oh. What are you setting me up? This is a setup now, Phantom. All right, I'm gonna do it. We'll look at number 609, and then when I projectile all over my computer, it'll be Phantom's fault. 609. Oh, wow. Was it 6? Final issue. Different. Well, they have a bunch of variant covers, of course. And none of them particularly interesting, are they? I hate Reed's stupid short sleeves. That blows. That blows. That's number 10. Oh, that really blows. What in the holy hell? Is that Maestro? Shit. I know, but it is 609, isn't it? That's 609 right there. They're fighting Maestro or whatever. But 609 wasn't the last one. This is that run everyone wants me to read. They wanted me to read so bad, that Hickman run. God, I'm in some crappy FF. I'm getting this thing off of here. I guess we could do a night where we since it's FF a month as well, where we look up really crappy FF comics, huh? Jesus. That's an all right cover, I guess, but I don't know. Doesn't do a lot for me, though. Nah. Let's look at this one. I always love this cover. Always love this cover. Kirby cover. Again, a landmark, issue 200. At least they gave it a Kirby cover when he went back to Marvel in the 70s. Yeah, was it Thing Hulk or was that Hulk or was that Maestro? Who cares? I hear you though, partner. It's a bunch of crap. That's weird. When Titans clash. Always loved this cover for some reason. Well, for obvious reasons, maybe. All right, Dave, take it easy, brother. See you, cuz. Well, D-Bud, that is a pretty good stopping point, but after that, I kind of like that Galactus story. Marv Wolfman took over, I don't know how many issues after this. It was early on. John Byrne came onto the book. He had Sun on ink in him, so it looked great. And they Marv Wolfman wrapped up his Nova saga with a Galactus story, but with Sphinx and all that stuff. Or a Sphinx story where Galactus was involved, I should say. Which I thought was pretty good. I think it was pretty good after this for a while. But, yeah, that's a good breakout point. You spoilered, Phantom Outsider, but there was, yeah. There is probably, I don't know if it's still there. There's a podcast I used to listen to a few years back. I have no reason why I stopped, really, other than I just got doing other things, but they were really good. They were called the Fantasticast. Well, Steve Mitchum, you're entitled to be wrong about things, and you're wrong about Joe Sinnott, buddy. Sorry. I mean, that is a God-given right as a human being for you to be wrong about Joe Sinnott, so no one holds it against you. But you always feel the need to throw that out there. I don't know what to tell you, buddy. I mean, I will repent for my sins one day, man. My artistic sins and failings, somehow, some way, man. I don't know what to do for it. I guess I owe you an apology for liking him, but I love him. He's my favorite. all-time inker. I love what he does. He has, especially on FF, when he makes things look so much like Kirby, even when Kirby's not the penciler. I love him on Perez and Byrne and Pollard. But, you're the artist, so you're the boss. Where was I? I don't know where was that. So, anyway, I guess I'll find that article. Do I want to get more pissed off at that article? Let's see. All right, Fantastic Four 50th. Let's see if that's. There it is. Oh my God. Reimagine this is so stupid. What is wrong with these people? Do I owe you a Klondike bar inked by Terry Austin? I'm bringing you a Klondike bar, dude. That's why I love Steve Mitchum. He's not afraid to be wrong in public. Also love him because he's a great guy, even though he's wrong. Here we go. And I taught him everything he knows about martial arts. Oh, wait, that wasn't me. Sorry. He's kicked my ass many times, folks. Let's see here. All right, look at this. Seriously, though. Steve, I love you, brother. Please don't hurt me. Damn it, Steve, now I want a Klondike bar. Oh, shit. I would ask Steve, though, who's his favorite inker, though. I don't think we've ever talked about that, dude. Remember when there were inkers? Well, here we go. Let's see here. All right, look at this. All right, the next mother who says reimagine to me is going to get their ass kicked. Every time I see the word reimagine, it needs to be replaced with deimagine. Because you're not imagining anything. It's already been imagined. You're reimagining bullshit. You're not reimagining anything. I was never a big Tom Palmer guy, D-Bud. I think he kind of muddies things up a little bit, but especially John Byrne's favorite inker was Tom Palmer. And he didn't like Bob Layton. I love Bob Layton. It's weird. I don't know what to tell you there. Look at this crap. Look at that. Now everyone homages the cover of FF #1. Okay. Now Tom Brevoort's an idiot, but look at that. I don't mind people redoing homages to the covers, to the old covers. Everyone does that. Reimagine is deimagine now. But redrawing the story, is it a crime? No, whatever, do it. But they call that celebrating. And here's the thing, if they were just doing like artists takes old covers. All right. I'm going to read off the artist names. I'm not going to be insulting or anything. Okay. Fantastic Four. No, wait. Sorry. The #1 doesn't say. And all right, let's go to the annual. Fantastic Four Anniversary Tribute. Okay, this has got them all here. Okay. Now, as a lot of you don't know, or let me see, a lot of you know, Miracle Man. All right, as a lot of you may or may not know, like a lot of you, I don't follow a lot of these modern comic book artists these days. So there are a lot of them I don't even know them by name. I mean, if we go back anywhere in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, even you mention any comic book artists, even if I'm not a fan of theirs or if I don't know much of their work or haven't seen a lot of their work or read either, I know who they are, especially with artists and writers. Well, both of them really. But modern day, not so much. Just to see. Like you said, I'm going to celebrate by copying what you already did in tribute to you and get paid for my knockoff of your groundbreaking work that you got paid squat for and never made any residuals off of. Bravo, Marvel, puke. Exactly. But these names are so modern-y, I don't know many of them. But I'm going to be fair. I'm not going to say anything bad if I don't know anything about them. But I'm just going to, let's see. Art by Akko. I don't know who that is. No offense to ACO. I don't know who that is. Aaron Cooder. If I'm getting that name wrong, I apologize. Don't know him. Adam Hughes, there's a name many of us know. I like Adam Hughes. When they say art, he's going to do one panel or one page. I guess they're all going to do one page. I don't know. But if this were like, I don't know, maybe this wouldn't be so bad if this were a bunch of artists that I really like from the 70s or 80s or something. I don't know. Okay, Albert Montes, don't know him. Alessandro Cappuccino, just kidding. I don't know that. Sorry if I didn't pronounce it right. I'm an idiot. No offense, just don't know him. Brian Hitch, I know. He's been kind of a weenie lately. Decent artist. Cafu, artist with one name. He must be brilliant. I don't know who that is. No offense, just don't know who it is. Carlos Pacheco, I know. He's okay. I never really was the biggest fan. He's all right. A lot of people like him. Chris Sprouse, I'm a fan of. I like Chris Sprouse. Daniel Warren, don't know him. Daniel Warren Johnson. David Latham, know him. David Latham's okay. I mean, he's all right. An artist I, knew a little bit. Elsa Chartier. I don't know. Nothing personal, don't know her. Erica Durso, don't know. Federico Vincentini or whatever, don't know. Greg Land is a guy who copies things on a computer and traces things. He's not an artist. Javier Rodriguez, don't know him. John Cassidy, good artist. John Romita Jr., Anus Pappy, I don't like his modern style much. Some do, and some don't. Kate Nemesic, I don't know her. Kai, let's see. I'm just going to read the names I know because there's a million of them here. Sorry. If there's a name I know, Francis Yu, I know that name a little bit. Leonard Kirk, nice enough guy. He's an okay artist. And I'm going to pass the ones I don't know. Mike Allred, he's great, like him. Mike Del Mundo, don't know. Neil Adams, yeah, right. He just did an FF comic that looked terrible. But I'm, I don't know. I love Neil Adams, but you can't really draw anymore. But okay. Nick, hey, I love Neil Adams, one of my favorite artists. Nick Klein, don't know. Oliveira Copiel, I know, but I'm not really that familiar much with his work. Olivier Colpere, I can't even pronounce names. Paco Medina, not really that big on. Patch Zurcher, excuse me. Patch Zurcher's a good artist. Pepe Lord, don't know. Don't know this one. Rod Reyes, sort of. Ron Friends, I really like Ron Friends. Nice guy, and I like his style, simple. Simone, don't know. Steve Epting is a good artist. Don't know Tom Riley. Salvador LaRocca, that's an older name, at least. I mean, he was okay. And Jorge Fort, don't know. Kim, don't know. Walt Simonson, classic, great one, a giant. Simon DeBion, I don't know. Leonardo, don't know. Terry Dodson, I know, kind of a tracer. All right. Never been a Mark Bagley guy. Not a lot of people like him. Cover by Stephen McNiven. McNiven. Variant cover, Jim Shea. Okay. Vandal Savage's uncle. Yeah. Look, there's nothing wrong with redoing a cover here and there. Everyone does it. So there's a few names in there I respect. Many that I don't know, and that doesn't mean I don't like them or anything. I don't know them. I just don't know them because a lot of them are new to the game. I stopped even bothering buying comics in terms of a regular thing with the Screw 52 in 2011. It's been 10 years. I bought a lot of comics since then, but it's just kind of willy-nilly, just kind of stuff here and there. No like regular series that often or anything like that, except for Astro City and a few others. Zax, I've been hearing about Ragnarok, and I've been meaning to get it. There's so many of them, though. But I love Simonson, so let me know if that's a good book. Well, I know it is because our buddy Bruce Lombardo really likes that one. And he's been telling me to get it forever. And I mean to. I just don't see it out there, and I never order it like a jagoff. But I should. Zombie Thor, eh? Wow. So you know what? It's just okay. It's not even that I'm really offended by the idea that much. It's not like I'm bitching more than I'm really pissed, but it's just is their other thing that they did, that stupid life story of the Fantastic Four, which was garbage. What are you really doing to celebrate them? But you didn't do anything for the 50th either that was important. We already talked about that. So why the 60th? What the hell, right? What difference does it make, I guess? Man, buy the back issues, buddy. Buy the back issues. And then have Kirby the King hit you with his shield. And for those who think I was being mean to Stan, there you go. Have some Stan and Jack. Some mid-60s Stan and Jack there. There were some youngsters back then, weren't they? Well, in their 40s. So, there you go. Oh, Phantom, do you have some? I have a few omnibuses. I love omnibuses. An omnibus is tough to read, though. I mean, it's good for weightlifting, though. I only bought trades in hardcovers of old stuff, and yeah, that same here. I love finding cheap trades and hardcovers. Love it. Love it. This is a great book. Stuff said. Funky Flashman indeed. Yeah. And House Roy. Interestingly enough, there's an article that I've not read yet. I was showing you guys some excerpts or some pages from the current issue of Alter Ego magazine by Roy Thomas, great mag. And he's got a write-up about Kirby and his relationship with Kirby that I'm dying to read. I'm going to go read that later. Ricada looks like Stanley, really. Well, I did not know that. Wow, it's wild, weird stuff. Sorry, Steve. Have a Kirby machine, everyone. Have a Kirby ship. I know this is DC, but who wouldn't want to drive that? I would want to drive that. I would want that right there. I want that. That Kirby machine I think it's from Jimmy Olsen or Forever People or whatever. I want that right there. I want that vehicle. Make it happen. Oh my goodness. Well, it was just an open stream. I just thought I would hang out with you guys a little bit, and I appreciate everyone coming in and listen to me do nothing particular. Um, as I let's see, is it now Phantom Outsider? Wow. So, as I said, unfortunately, uh, no Global Geek Gang tomorrow, but there will be one. It will be this Sunday because, of course, as you all know, I've been talking about this for 2 months now. Let's see here. So tomorrow, no Global Geek Gang. Saturday night, of course, as always, man. Look. This has been so much fun on Saturday nights. It was fun right now tonight too, hanging out with all you great people as well. It's always fun here. But Saturday night Star Trek with the wonderful, amazing, my wonderful first officer Raquel, and I love you, Raquel, if you're still out there listening. And even if you're not, I love you anyway. We got 4 more episodes for you. We're getting close to the end of season 2. Excuse me, season 1. What the hell? We're getting close to season 2, I should say. Well, I'm fumbling all over the place tonight, man. It's just one of those days. Long day. Steve Mitchum, that deserves to be highlighted. Oh, I've invented a new kind of sugar. It eats all of the sugar in your body. I call it galactose. Oh, that's fantastic. Only a joke, only a comic book geek would get. Gotta love that. So Saturday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, as always, my wonderful first officer and I. We'll continue to hold your hand through the first season of Star Trek The Next Generation. We're going to get through this, folks. We're going to get through this. That was really good, Steve. You're good at that, brother. Is this some kind of bust? Guess what it's collected. Yeah. Oh. Okay, Stephen Thompson, I will. How do I find you on Twitter, sir? And I will do just that. Let me see if we can suss that out right now. Because I don't know. I mean, I guess I have to follow you for you to be able to DM me, but. So let me just go ahead. What else we got to do, huh? There are bound to be many by that name, though. Oh, you know what? Well, damn it, Janet is the same. Janet had to run. She sent me some pictures, and I got doing something. I forgot to tell. I'll tell her. I'm so sorry. I was going to show her pictures too. No point doing it now. She's not here, but I'll do it. I'll do it later. God dang it! I forget everything. Oh well. Crap. But I got to find you though. See, I can imagine by that name, buddy, there can be a lot of people. I'm trying to figure out how to find you. If I do a search, I'm going to come up with 10 billion people by that name. I would think, wouldn't you? But I'm going to try and let's see here. I'm going to try it. If that's your name on there. Yeah, I don't. I don't know how to find you, buddy. Is there anyone else you follow that I could maybe? We got. I don't know how. I should. Oh, listen. I guess I could. Yeah, check the followers. I didn't think about that yet. Okay. Uh, does it? I don't think it lets you search followers though. Now I have. Oh, you got an at. Okay. I'll see here. Let me see if that works. And I'm sorry, everyone, but I don't know why. Maybe it's a setting I can change. But I do want only followers to be able to th. Let's see, 826. Almost there. Uh, I lost you. Oh, there we go. 2, 7. See if that works. No, that don't work. I'll figure out something, bud. It won't. Well, you're better off without Twitter, Steven, but I need it. I mean, Steve, I need it. I need it helps me follow a lot of people and keep in touch with a lot of people and promote the show and all that stuff. And you know, it's just a necessary thing if you do a show. Hey there, Tim's Talk or Tim's Talks. Good to see you there. How you doing, man? I'll find you somehow, man. I just don't know how I'm going to find you like that, but I'll think of something. Probably easier if you're following Raquel, I'll probably be able to find you like that. So I'll do my best to find you, bud. And when I do, I will follow you. And we'll get that. I'll get you. I'm so sorry about that, man. Yeah, I know you follow. Doomcock will be impossible. He has way too many followers. She has a few less. I have like 1,000 something. So, yeah, MJ Media. That's right. You gotta. I mean, you gotta have it if you can stay on it. Yeah. Tim Stock says, "Pretty good. Going to see Suicide Squad tomorrow. You going to see it? I imagine I would like to see it. I haven't been to a movie theater since last August. When I got the chance to go see my favorite all-time film, this was replaying The Empire Strikes Back. Let's see. I did put that in a search, unless I did it wrong. I did put that in a search, Stephen. So I kind of wouldn't mind going sitting in a movie theater and watching something. I kind of want to see Suicide Squad in a sense. It's kind of a damn shame that the first film that we're going to get to see Starro in is a Suicide Squad film. Yeah, it'll be on HBO Max. But I work odd hours. Sometimes, it might be fun to like to go in the daytime and just. I used to like to go in the daytime. We did like 3 people there at 11:30 in the morning and get some popcorn and sit in a movie and just kind of watch it by myself. Sometimes, I like doing that. Yeah. Yeah, we finally get to see Starro, but it's not in a proper Justice League bill or anything like that. So yeah, it's just it's the Suicide Squad. But I can't. I have to see it just for them using those obscure villains. I mean, good God, they're using Thinker. Peter Capaldi's Thinker, man. Wow, he's playing Thinker. They're using Polka Dot Man, King Shark. And that's the thing I've been kind of saying as well, Phantom Outsider. The first Charlton character to get to a big screen is Peacemaker, not the Questioner, Captain Atom, or Blue Beetle. Peacemaker. Star of the casserole. But if you're going to put Polka Dot Man in a movie, I'm going to watch it. I admit it. James Gunn's a jagoff, but he can make funny movies sometimes. So who knows? But yeah. Yeah, Tim Stock. I'm going to watch it for sure. I might just end up going to a theater. What the hell? Maybe Friday. But there are probably like 3 people in the theater. Now we got the stupid mask mandate back here in Louisiana after it's been gone for friggin' 4 or 5 months, 6 months. It's been gone, and now it's back again because of our idiot governor. It pisses me off. So, but I guess the theaters will still be open. So King Shark is taser face. What's that now on Steve Mitchell? I didn't look. What do you got? Do you get what reference? Star of the Casserole. Oh, from the Planet Krypton scene in the extended version of the Kingdom Come comic. Is that what it was from? Yeah. MJB. I hear Miguel from Cobra Kai is going to play Blue Beetle. If so, I want to believe he can pull it off. I'm not. Yeah. He's perfect for Jaime. I'll give you that. If that's your Blue Beetle of choice, then yeah, I think he's a good casting. I was on with my buddy Paulie from Latino Slant. And the other day, because he's interested in that, and we talked about that for a while, and that kid's good. I love Cobra Kai. He's good on there. Yes, the dinner at the end with Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman at Planet Krypton. Yeah. I remember when they asked the Power Girl chicken special or whatever, and Batman said the cut, and they said breasts. Yeah, I would rather have Ted Cord and Garrett first, but no, they're not going to happen. Here's the thing about that Blue Beetle special cartoon that's going to be on the Blu-ray of Batman: The Long Halloween Part 2. I'm really looking forward to that. A few friends that I trust have seen Batman: The Long Halloween Part 2 and are saying it is bad. So it's a shame because part 1, in spite of 1 or 2 things that were annoying, was pretty good. So I'm going to watch it and judge for myself, of course, but that's kind of par for the course. Well, friends, I tell you what, man, I'm great to see everyone here hanging out with us tonight. I really appreciate it. But you're getting it back to MJ? Man, sorry. It sucks, really, especially this is a bunch of crap. We don't do the kind of stuff here. Talk about the kind of stuff here that often I'm just really aggravated by it. But I want to thank everyone for being here with me tonight, hanging out. just hanging out. Never mind, I won't sing that song, sorry. And I'll see everyone back here, I hope, Saturday night, and then, of course, Sunday for the big event. Until then, Phantom Outsider, buddy, thanks for being here. Stephen Thompson, I'm going to try to find you over there, man. If I do, if I find you, I will send you. I'll send you a DM. MJ1 Media, thank you for being here. Steve mentioned, brother. Oh, thanks for being here, buddy. Appreciate it. Tim's Talk, thanks, buddy. D Bud Martin, brother. Always a pleasure, buddy. Let's see here. Monkey Jeebus, thank you. Who else was here? Somebody wonderful people were here, but let's see. Pat S, brother. Always good to see you, buddy. Zax, thank you. I'm backtracking. Mark D with a C, bro. I'm trying to backtrack as far as I can. My chat doesn't go all the way back, so probably forgetting some people. Hey, Matthew Pounder again. Thank you for being here. Ted Millich, hello there. Good to see you, and thank you for popping in. Appreciate seeing you all here tonight. Thank you so much. I'm going to run out now and do something important. No, I'm not. I'm going to do nothing. I'm going to go watch something. I still have 4 episodes of Star Trek to review. Star Trek The Next Generation Season 1 to review, but I'm kind of putting it off to last week. I watched them earlier in the week, and then by the time Saturday rolled around, I almost forgot what happened in them. They're that memorable. I should probably watch them like the same day that we're going to review it when they're this in the first season. And yet I could tell you about other later Next Generation episodes that I can remember a lot of. Ain't that fun, huh? Well, everyone, have a great night, my friends. And I will be seeing you. And as always, big shout out to the great Stone Loki for my intro, outro. Take care, everybody.